Hello everybody, good afternoon. Welcome back to the stream. It is I, DIGI Driver, wishing everyone a very happy new year. Welcome to 2024. If you haven't been paying attention, there have been a couple days already. And yeah, today is Tuesday, January the 2nd, and I'm going to do a scenery dev stream today. Technically cube, light, and camera, but who's counting? Yes, we're going to do some scenery dev today, and I'm going to try to see if I can potentially squeeze out some object placement at Gaston's airport in Microsoft Flight Simulator, depending on how things check out. I'm using Blender version 3.1.0, and this is a departure from 2.8.3. I'm hoping to do a little bit of dev in this. I'm probably going to take some time either this week or next week to install the latest version of Blender and see if the MSFS add-ons and the things that I normally use work in that new platform. Because yeah, it's 2024, DG. Get with the times. Use a more recent version than 2.83. Okay, I have a reason for that. I'm wrapping up my work with Plymouth Municipal Airport in Plymouth, Massachusetts. That one was built on 2.83. I don't want to switch versions in the middle of development and have stuff break. So I need to finish that project first before I can really say bye to that version, or at least bye to active development. But be that as it may, we're back, we're in Blender, we're going to do some scenery dev, and I'm going to fire up, I think, one of my other screens to keep track of chat. So give me just a moment, chat. Let's go ahead and open another window, switch to it, and then I'll have that on hand. So, in case you didn't know, I am working on Gaston's Airport in Arkansas. It is ICAO code 3 Mike 0, and it is a general aviation airport. It is a grass strip, and it's kind of a bit of a getaway for some folks. And there are more than a few interesting stories that I'm sure exist. I'll give you guys a bit of an overview of the airport just in case you haven't seen it before. Let me fire up my browser window. Where is it? It's right. Oh, it's on. But I was looking at a different window, so stand by. There we are. Okay, so here is the deal. Gaston's Airport is this big grass strip. Now, there are multiple things here that if my friend Arch NDA stops on by, he'll probably be able to educate me on a bunch of stuff that happens here, including what appears to be fishing or docking. MSEP, bonsoir. Happy New Year to you as well, my friend. I hope you're very well. I am home with Mrs. Digi, and we have one more day off before I go back to work tomorrow. I'm working on a general aviation airport called Gaston's Airport. Let me lower the volume a little bit. So, Gaston's Airport is a GA airport that has like a restaurant, river view. You can even, I think, come in on a boat and then dock and then go into the restaurant. It has little, I don't know what you call them, bungalows? Well, little houses to stay at. And This runway goes up pretty far as I can see. And then you park up here, and there are either, I guess, storage buildings or facilities, and then I'm guessing this is pretty much it. And maybe a club with a pool here, and that's about it. You've got some house, like this is a house, I think, but I don't know. So I want to focus on this building today, and I think what I'll be able to do is use Street View to help me actually see it. But let me think. You might not be seeing it. Oh, you are. You are. So probably the first thing I'm going to do is snap a picture of this and use it as my overlay so that we can actually build this to scale, or try to build this to scale. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to grab a screenshot and I'm going to see if I can actually render this today. So the point of doing this today is to just try to take on this kind of a project just right off the bat, get into it. Don't spend too much time thinking about it, because there are some things that I'm going to try not to worry much about anymore. And one is, you know, oh, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can actually pull this off. Well, just do it. And then you'll know. So, White River Resort. So we're going to make the resort building first. So 3M0 resort building, and then it'll literally be 3M0 satellite shot. Okay, we got the PNG file. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go into Blender and we're going to actually render that plane. Grass strip, a couple hangars, a community of little houses nearby, boat accessible. So in some ways, Kev, this is going to be a bit of an accidental homage to that kind of scenery dev, because I think these folks like to have a good time, and I want to, make this project look even better for my friend Arch NDA. If you're listening, Arch, this one's for you. So let's get started. We're going to get rid of the light, and we're going to get rid of the camera. If I can click it. There we go. And this I can keep, but it's going to get in my way, so I'm not going to bother. We're going to add a plane first. And I don't know how big this plane is actually supposed to be, so I'm going to speculate, and then we're going to figure out how big the actual building's going to be. Aeroflyer, good afternoon, my friend, and welcome aboard. Glad to have you. Oh, folks, by the way, in case you didn't know, MSEP and Kev are both Flight Sim streamers. So go ahead and check out Kev Mikwa and MSEP004 on Twitch and give them a follow if you haven't done so. They both put out wonderful content, and both of them I am privileged to call friends. So take a look at them. Now, oh, you got it, my friend. How can I do this quickly? Doesn't the satellite shot have scale? I don't think so. Oh, no, it does. It's 50 feet. So this entire shot is actually 50 feet total. You know what? I'm going to grab the entire shot, if for no other reason than to have my scale immediately. So that works for me. And now I can take that and I can make this 50 feet long. So here we go. You got it, Kev. Okay. Y is going to be what I believe this should be. I think this screenshot is not It's not square, so I'm going to assume that the length of the shot is 50 feet. Now, if that's 50 feet, it could be 25 by 50. Matter of fact, I'm almost confident that it is. So we're going to make this 25 feet tall, and we're going to see how well this works out. All right. Also going to save this before we start. And 3 Mike 0 Resort Building Blend, that's the file. And let's go ahead and add the material. Okay, so it's going to be the satellite image. We're going to give it a standard material, and it's just going to be one texture. Okay, so let's rotate it. Okay, so this has to rotate 90 degrees. Okay, not like that. Really, though? I don't know. This looks incorrect. The scale is off. Okay, so I'm forgetting my steps here. Let's do a smart UV project. And now what we should be able to do is rotate this 180 degrees. Oh, actually, no, I was wrong. Now we should be able to expand it. That's much better. Okay, so the whole point of this is to basically have the satellite imagery in place so that we can actually spec out the building. And essentially, it's going to consist of a few things. I think this is all one piece, and then you have the restaurant and the boat dock. So, um, I'm not going to worry about height yet. I'm just going to work on placing the buildings first, and then we're going to see how it works out. I'm also not going to spend too much time focusing on details for the buildings first because I want to place the buildings in the scenery and see how high or how low these buildings or these pieces are supposed to be. And then once I find that out, we'll know how to move forward. So, assuming that these buildings are going to be to scale, here's what I'm doing. We're going to add a cube. Okay, and there we go. Here is our first clue that the scale is going to be off. This cube is 6 feet wide, tall, and long. 6 feet should not be the width of this resort. It should be a lot wider than that. So we're going to expand this until this gets to be as big as we want it to be. So let's do that. Before I do anything else, I'm going to actually take a look at the street view. And then we're going to take a look at the building. All right, so I did MSEP, yes. That must have been scary. I pray that those folks are safe and taken care of. I'm not aware of any casualties reported from that crash, so if anybody knows, let me know. Oh, on the A350, everyone's safe, but the other plane didn't survive. Wow, that's sad. Heavenly Father, please watch over all those folks affected by the tragedy in Japan. Uh, there's not much I can do other than pray, but extend your hand of love and comfort over everyone involved in Jesus' name. Amen. Well, certainly my hope that they actually fare better in future. I'm trying to figure out how to get these measurements. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it using Street View. So we're just going to have to guess and keep expanding the satellite image. I'm assuming these piers are going to be, they're probably going to be at least 6 feet wide, if not more. So, yeah, they're probably going to be about 10 feet wide. So let's do this. I'm gonna make this cube 10 feet, a 10-foot square that's 2 meters high. It's probably going to be about maybe 9 feet high at the highest point. Don't know. All right. Sorry about that. I was just checking something out. Hmm. So, did I say about 10 feet? Yeah, 9 feet high and about 10 feet wide. Let's scale this again. So, that's probably going to be close enough for an estimate. And honestly, I'm not going to spend a lot of time sweating it. So, now that I have this down, I'll save my first revision, and then we'll start speccing this out. Okay, so what I can probably do is take this cube and duplicate it and say dock 2. And let me just check something really fast. Okay. I mean, I could have probably recorded much more of the satellite imagery, but I'm not interested in overriding the satellite image, just the airport. I am going to copy this cube, though. We'll call this one dock 1. And that's neat. All right, let's go ahead and expand this out. Now, what I can't tell is if there's like a little crawl space between it or what. I might get rid of that. I mean, I'm sure there's a platform between the two docks. So and that should connect to the building. And I'm guessing these are in. Studio Canuck, good afternoon, friend. Very good to see you. Welcome aboard. I am working on a general aviation airport in Arkansas. This is Gaston's airport. We can relax now. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. Folks, if you want another flight sim streamer to follow, Studio Canuck is your guy. Puts out wonderful content and is, I believe, poised to become one of the faces of flight sim, if not a driving force in streaming content. So go ahead and check out Studio Canuck on Twitch when you get a chance. Give him a follow. So we're working on Gaston's Airport. There's a resort that's here that I'm going to just roughly spec out and put in the sim and see how it looks. So I'm working on it now. Oh, you got it, friend. It's good to see you. Yeah. Stress leave until next week. Not bad. Okay, now I think I'm going to take this and chop it so that I can actually arch this a bit. So loop cut down the middle should do it. I'll do it again. And then we're going to take this line segment and we're going to see what the height on this is. So let's add about half a meter, so like 1.5 feet. And do the same thing here. And then that will get that set. Now, the tricky thing is, I don't know what the building's supposed to look like, but I'm not going to stress the, what's that called? The waviness, the warped picture. There we go. The warped picture here. I'm going to assume that it's just kind of like out to here and then kind of will be off one side and on the other. So I want another cube. Let's add one. And unless I missed my guess, this is an actual building. And then it kind of extended the roof out to the dock. So resort. One. And how are we going to do this? I don't know. Let's move that face back. It's probably going to be attached. Panagon, Happy New Year, friend. Very good to see you. Welcome back. I hope that you're doing very well today. I'm doing some scenery dev, and we're creating the actual resort building for Gaston's Airport. Anybody that remembers, I did do 1 or 2 streams on this airport last year. I think in the summertime when we were doing the Summer Freeware series, I didn't make too many airports, but I did release a couple of airports for free for MSFS, and you can get them on flightsim.to. Just look me up as DIGI driver, and you should see the airports. They are 6 Oscar Romeo 1 in Oregon, 3 Mike 0 in Arkansas, which is what I'm working on right now. This is Gaston's. So we are working to build the nice looking building. So I think I'm just gonna make some concessions right off the top. It's gonna be probably out of place a bit, but since I don't go there myself, I won't know. Let's go ahead and search this out. And what's probably going to happen is it's going to go to here, and then there's going to be like an awning or something here, and it's going to hook up here, hook up here. So we're going to have a whole bunch of different shapes. Let me hide this. It's going to look different. So I'm not going to stress about the shapes and the roof lines on top. I'm just going to try to make this as quickly and as detailed as I can in the space of, I don't know, another half an hour to 45 minutes. And we'll place it, we'll see how far off the mark I was, and then we will attempt to figure out what to do. This is basically like, you know, initial placement. So I'm not gonna think too hard about shapes and details, all those things. Although I think I'm probably going to do this, which would be have it roughly just over the awning for coming up from the docks, and then actually this isn't bad. This isn't bad. I want them to overlap a teensy bit so I don't have Z fighting, and we'll work on shapes next. But that's building 1. Let's save ourselves a little bit of trouble and duplicate it. And we're going to copy these, and we will shape them pretty quickly. Again, remember, the point of this is to just create this as quickly and as painlessly as possible. Part of my deal for next year is literally no excuses. I don't want to take too much time figuring out stuff. I want to make sure I can get things done quickly. And I don't want to freak out about anything. It does no one any good. Okay, so we're going to take this side, not that side, but this side, and we're going to squeeze it in until basically it encompasses that building. And then building 2 may be at least in part rendered. But if I want to do this right, I'm going to want to give these boxes some meaning. So I think there are going to be some, I don't know, courtyard areas between buildings. And then we're going to create the major building right there. And this takes a loop cut in the middle. At least 2. So, first step is the loop cut. As far as I can tell, it's right down the middle. So this is about 6 feet high. We're gonna make the roof of this go about another foot and a half, if not more. And I think that's just what I'm gonna do in general. While I would like this to be to scale, I'm not worried about it. If that's 6 feet, then the first few buildings are probably gonna be about 7 to 8 feet tall. I suspect that these are not going to be very high up. So another half a meter to all of them. Let's see what happens. Okay, so about 1.7. 2 is 6. A half of 3 is 1.5. So 1.5 would be 4.5. So does that make any sense? Okay, there we go. There we go. That's 2. That's 1.5. That's 1.5. Okay, so we're going to add another. I think we're going to add another meter because 2.5 would be 7.5 feet. Yeah, let's do that. All right. 2.5 is 6 plus a foot and a half, so that's 7.5 feet. And then, if that's the case, then we should be able to make this go to 9 feet. So if I do 9 feet, does that make sense? Let's see. Okay, 8 to 9 feet. Yeah, I would say so. So 7.5 feet. No, 7.5 feet, not meters. I keep thinking that's feet. All right, not bad. Not bad. That's 7.5 feet. These edges are. That's 9 feet. My guess is the restaurant portion ceiling should probably be at least 10 feet tall, if not more. So we're going to make this go to 10 feet. And that'll kind of take care of it. And then if I check the street view that I have, I will be able to confirm. Let's see. Street view says, that's not bad, really, but I think my measurements are just a bit too ambitious. I think if I bring everything down by about a foot, I should be fine. So it actually looks like the awnings and coverings and stuff come down to about 7 feet. So we're going to adjust our values. So let's do 7 feet instead of 7.5. Again, the whole point of this is just to be close, not to be all over the place. So this is 9 feet. Let's do 8 feet and see what it looks like. I think the middle does go way high though. So that might be where the change is. If at 7 feet, then almost about double that. Does that seem weird to anybody? I'll show you what I mean. And the perspective might be throwing me off, but this is street view. I'd figure the distance from the kind of overhang to the windows and from the ground up, that's about 6-7 feet, probably about 7 feet. So it almost seems like it's like 75% more room up top, almost like a whole nother story. So I'm gonna say if that's 7, that's probably gonna be about 10, and then like 12 feet at the very top. All right, so let's give it a shot. If that's 12 feet, oh no, that's the front. I get it. Still though, we're gonna be pretty close to the top of that. I would say that that part's probably gonna be at least 10 feet. Yeah, let's start with 10 feet and then we'll see what happens. So, 10 feet, and then the main building here is going to have like a 12-foot center point. So this needs to be wider and probably placed differently. And we're going to take these edges. I'm probably going to expand this, like scale it. And then we'll see where this point winds up. It could be 12 feet. I could be wrong. Let's make this 12 feet. Yeah, it was pretty close. Man. And is this 7 feet? It's not, but it's probably all the same. Let's do 7¼ feet. And that's probably going to be about as close as it gets. Okay. And the added benefit is that it's pretty close to what the other sides are. And if I do an overhang, it's probably going to be bang on with that side. So this is where it gets a little weird. I think this goes all the way in to about here. We were pretty close. Let's stretch this back to about here. And let me hide this again. It seems like, I don't know, it seems like there's a narrow piece out here for the overhang where the cars drive up, and then the building itself is wider. So, what I can probably do is, what, extrude the sides? Yeah, and shorten the front. So, I know. I think I do at least. Hold on. This is where I think the bigger building is. And then That should be one side. We'll take this side and stretch it. Actually, no, it's not going to work. I want to scale it again. Good enough for argument's sake. Let's actually take this down to 11 feet. Yeah, and this down to about 7.5 again. Same thing with this side. So now we have the buildings. Something else is kind of between them, I don't know. Or this is all kind of roof. There might be a kind of courtyard where they have some electronic equipment, or like, you know, the HVAC. I don't know. But I do know that the piece out here where the cars kind of drive up, that's going to be a little bit further out. And assuming it's going to be symmetrical to it, I need to, I think, stretch this out a little bit more this way. So we're going to take both these and we're going to slide them over. That should probably do it. And excuse me, I should probably just take these sides and push them in. There's like a little walkway here, but I don't know what it does. And there we go. I'm checking my satellite imagery here. Okay, so I think what happens is all these buildings are connected and they've got stuff on top of the roofs. And then the buildings overlap. There's like maybe a courtyard in one. So this building has a little walkway here between it and the restaurant. And the restaurant is actually angled down. And then there's like an even bigger kind of like overhang for the restaurant. Okay. Like I said, it's not easy, but I don't want to stress out about it at all. We are going to chop this building up a bit more. So we're going to do this. I can probably these are like symmetrical cuts. You know what? Leave it. No, it needs to be a bit narrower. That's almost perfect. That's almost perfect. So can I make it narrow enough for two people to get by? Or does it need to be a bit bigger? If it needs to be a bit bigger, then I need to basically take these cuts. But this works out because there's almost nothing required. So we're gonna declare artistic liberties here, and we're going to do this. We're going to take the centerpiece, this guy right here, and we're going to extrude it into this building. So, just like that. And then we're going to, Oh, I know. We're going to, I think I'm gonna have to loop cut this face. Or take this and lower it. Okay, so that's not going to work. So I need to... What can I do? I can probably loop cut the sides, can I? Theoretically, I could. Alright, so if we cut the sides... I want to have like an awning here. Also, this is going to be gone, so let me do myself a favor. I'm going to... Can I bring this up off the ground? Oh, I think I know what I'm doing wrong. Let's get rid of the face. And then... What can we do? I know it looks so weird from this angle. We're going to merge this again. And then we're going to probably get rid of these faces. I hope this makes sense. I'm going to hide the plane, and now we have the floor. Could I break this? Yes, but it doesn't let me do it the way I want to. All right. I'm going to... see if I can select these and loop cut this side again. The problem is that it's loop cutting the entire option. So I'm going to have to take this and actually separate it. Maybe even take these two sides and separate them. So this is the awning. And we are probably going to turn these two things into their own kind of object. Is that what we're going to do? Alright. I forgot that I could actually join things together. Okay, so this is now its own object, separated from the rest of the building. So now I should be able to loop cut this individually. And This is 7.5 feet, so I want 6 feet, right? Wait, is that correct? It's gotta be. 2.1336. Actually, I don't think it is. Hold on. 2.1336 times 3730. That's about 79.58 inches, which is about 6.5 feet. So I want not gonna be much room here. Alright, so we're gonna take this edge and we're going to do the same thing with it. And here's why I wanted to do that. Watch this. I'm going to take this object and this object, and we're going to join them again. And I think what we should be able to do is do Control J. No, I did it the wrong way. Hold on. Do this first, then that, then Control J, and it's back to the same object. But it's like, okay, Digi, what did you spend all that time for? You kind of wasted your time, right? Not quite. I can select both these sides. I'm going to bridge the gap. We're going to split this gap in half. Can we? We can, but we can't. So, okay, that's fine. We're going to do this by hand. I'm going to take these line segments and break them in half. And then we're going to take these points and join them. And then we're going to take these line segments and bridge them. And then we're going to take this line segment and stretch it up. Okay, and now you have that little walkway between buildings. And again, I could be way off my my measurements here, but it is what it is. And then if we take a look at the plane again, now we have that little area between the buildings. And then I think the rest of it is covered. Yeah, because there's a tree here. Hold on. Which means I gotta do this. So we're going to take all these edges and push them back. Theoretically, I could probably get rid of this piece without any issue. Good. And there it is. Was that where it was before, though? That's where it was before. Okay. Okay. So now I think once you get past that tree... Wait, does that make sense to anybody? Hold on. Yeah, no, they're just a couple of trees growing up in a really small space. That's just how it works. Now, do I want to... bridge the gap here? I think I do. And I think this square building is going to bridge it. Let's play around with these edges and see what happens when we extrude them. And so you kind of get this idea for what the rest of this building is going to look like. And the last thing I have to do is probably bend part of that building down. And that, I think, is going to be where the difference really kicks in. So I'm going to leave it just like that, and then we're going to take this segment, and we're going to bring it down. Yeah, that makes sense. Both sides down. And then the rest of that's going to go in a little bit further. Can we do 7.5 feet? I think this awning has to go higher. And if this side has to go higher, probably the front side too. Take these to 7.5 feet, maybe 7 feet. Hey, Arch! Good to see you, my friend. Welcome. Very happy to have you here. I hope that you are having a very good afternoon. Happy to have popped in for a bit to say hi. And yeah, man, we're beginning to put this together. I have no clue how how well or how poorly I do, but this is my first attempt. So I think what needs to happen is that this awning needs to come up to meet the new height. And if I do that, then I should be able to stretch this one further back. This face should go back a bit more, I think. At least the line segments. And how's that going to work? Probably going to work like this. All right, so how's this going to work? I think what I'm going to do is extrude cut on this side. And then make it, I guess, the same height. My apologies in advance, Arch. This is creative liberties at their best. But at the same time, I don't know if anybody else has ever modeled this in Microsoft Flight Sim, so I'm definitely doing my best. So what I need to do is probably leave this piece alone for now and then come back to fix it later. And so you have the check-in area, something here like either like a souvenir shop or something, and then you have the restaurant, and then the docks are below. So if that's good enough for us for now, I'm going to save this revision, and then we're going to stretch this piece out some more. So here is the awning. This will be extruded, but it will be shrunk as well. All right. In theory, I could probably break this entire piece out. So I'll do that. And that is the awning. Front awning. And because this is a different piece now, I can do things here that won't affect the rest of the building. So, we need to break this up into pieces. That might be good enough for the front. We'll see. We'll see how well that chop works out. And then we're going to just wholesale cut off a few pieces, like these faces. And I will hide the satellite imagery so that I can see what's going on. And how's this going to work? Is that going to be enough? Probably. And now I need to do a few things. I need to keep something for posts or build posts into this, but I'm going to break this off. You know what? I thought I goofed before, but actually, this might be how I get started with everything else. Because now, I can also do this. That goes at about 2 feet. So about, what? Let's see. If that was like, if I was minus 16 and I have to be like minus 18. Or at least minus 17 and a half. Or a quarter. Something like that. And then we can cut it off. Actually, just below it, but I'm going to simplify my modeling for now at least. And I will do one more loop cut here. And fix all these placements. And we're going to make the Z coordinate for all of the inner pieces the same. You'll see what I do shortly. And then what I can probably do is get rid of this vertex or join it with this one here. So we'll do at first, that's joined. And we are creating a kind of consistent spot here. And then from there, we'll be able to do all the necessary stuff. Also, notice how me actually making that line straight affected this. That's kind of dope. I wasn't expecting that to happen, but that's pretty cool. I kind of want that to happen because I want about 2 feet of room for the kind of like little island. So what is that? So that goes to 0. Gotta be at least. Really? Oh, of course. Because it was it was minus 1.5 already. All right. So 0.5 is 1. That's one. Yeah, that's a meter. That's 3 feet. So make it about 0.75. All right. Let me crunch some numbers real fast. You know, one of the things I haven't tried doing is I haven't actually tried to copy images. So let me put these images in pure ref for future reference. And that way we'll have a visual on how to actually make this work. I'll also save this. And we're going to put pictures here that'll help us to understand what this place looks like. That's the overhead. At least 2 to get started, right? That kind of helps me understand and have one spot to refer to everything in. Oh, that's right. Hold on. Gotta crunch some numbers. So 0.75 times 3730 divided by 12. No, divided by 12. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. 0.761 meters. It's like 2 something feet. That's good. All right. Here's what we can do now. How much space between that point and that point? How many feet was that? So that was 2, 6. Okay, so that's about 6 feet. If I want this to be wide enough for like an SUV, it should probably be like 10 feet wide. At least 10 feet wide. All right, let's deselect these. And that should do it. I should be able to pull these out some more. So 6 to about 10. And let's see, 17, 14 to 17, 3, about 9 feet. I feel like I want to go a little bit wider with this. That should probably do it, but then on the other hand, this other cube's going to look so small. Hold on. I get it. I need to build to scale. Okay, so what needs to happen is that I think this satellite image needs to get bigger because these buildings are small. And I can test that theory with a quick check. Minus 11 to 8, that's like 9 feet, which means some of these buildings are really small. Which means my satellite image is off. So if I scale this up, well, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to take into account the cars. Yeah, that's definitely wide enough to let the cars go by. All right. Like I said, first time doing this, so am I worried about it? There's no point in worrying about it. Just need to have fun. So that covers that face. And now we're going to take this and we're going to extrude these edges. Excuse me, these faces. All right, so how's this gonna work? I think I'm making extra work for myself. Hold it. No, actually, that's good. And so that's covered. And now, Kaon! Hello, my friend. Very good to see you. KPYM is not finished up yet. It's one of, I'd probably say about 3 or 4 projects that I want to have wrapped up in the next 3 months. But very good to see you, friend. Oh, and folks, by the way, just in case you guys missed it, I have been slipping. Arch NDA, friend of mine, also a Flight Sim streamer. Kaon, friend of mine, also a retro game streamer. Kaon is on an NES quest to play, I think, every North American Nintendo Entertainment System game ever released. He's 200 plus games into his quest, so give Kaon a follow if you want some retro Nintendo gaming, and give Arch NDA a follow if you want to see ATC streams and Flight Sim streams. Yes, you're very welcome, friend. So let me do this. I'm going to get rid of these. Wait, should I? Oh, I know what I want to do. I want to get rid of a couple of them, but not all of them. What I can probably do is keep them and break this out here. And then break this piece out here. And then we're going to get rid of the other ones. So these faces, all these faces can go. And now we kind of have an awning. But again, I could be really off in my measurements, because the top of this awning is what? How high up is it? I don't know. I don't know. Like, okay, 3.35. So that's like 9 feet. The lowest point of this awning is actually about 2.4. So, what is that? 2.4 by what? 2.4 by 3730 divide by 12. No. Divide by 12. So that's 7.46 feet. The lowest point on this awning is 7.5 feet, which is off because this is actually supposed to be 9 feet 9 inches, which means that this actually needs to be even higher than what it is. Okay, not going to worry about measurements just yet. We don't plan on driving a truck through this, but like I said, first time I'm doing this, so there's bound to be mess ups. Let's see. Would you say 5? 5 sound good? Maybe? Yeah. All right. Thank you. I am going to take these spaces and stretch them out. All right, let's do that. Thank you so much, my friend. It's definitely a work in progress, and I'm definitely learning as I'm going. I'll tell you that for sure. You know what I should be able to do? I should just be able to pull these edges out. No, that's going to cause a problem. But let's just extrude this. Is that enough? Let's see. No, that could be a bit wider. Should be enough to actually put like a little flower garden in there. Unless, of course, I want to actually extrude from the other side as well. So, hang on a moment. This has to get closed up. I tell you, there is so much that I have yet to actually, master, but this journey has produced much fruit. Folks, in a bit, I'm going to stretch my legs and get up and potentially shift gears and maybe do a flight or mess around with something else. I am probably going to be laying out a schedule for the next month on my Discord very soon. So if you are not a member of my Discord, I'm going to give you one of those rare opportunities to join. I'm going to create an invite right now. My Discord is where I kind of talk about some thoughts that I have in my head and some things that I'm doing on and off stream. So if you like hanging out with the Digi fam, you're welcome to join into the Discord right here. So feel free to click on the link and join in. And just make sure you click the thumbs up to agree to the rules. And then you'll be a member of the Digi fam. And you'll be clued in on things going on when there isn't a stream going on so that you kind of get a little bit of heads up notice to see what streams are coming. All right, what am I missing? What am I missing? Oh, right, I wanted to pull these edges in a little bit more. So let's do this. I probably won't need to extrude them. All right, how much room is there? I'm probably way off. Let's see. From here to here, 14.1 to 16.4 is about 2.3 meters. So 2.3 meters, 2.3 meters, 37 and third divided by 12. That's like 7 something odd feet, which doesn't seem like a lot for a vehicle. But again, like I said, I'm not going to stress this too much. This has been kind of on the back burner for a while now. And honestly, I'm kind of happy to see it come to life. Let's see. I need to bring these edges up. I need to bring all this stuff up. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to grab this and I'm going to grab this building and join them back together again. And now I should be able to grab these bottom parts and move them up. How am I going to do this? Well, I don't know. I'll just try. And this part, all these, And I think I should just be able to pull them up. Yeah, yeah, I can. Good. All right, so I'm missing the bottom pieces here. I want to level stuff off as much as I can. And this is more or less how this is going to look. Okay, so now we have everything, and what I can probably do is lift everything up because we're actually halfway into the ground. You can also do this using the SDK inside of Microsoft Flight Sim, but if I can start with everything in a relatively good position, it'll make it a little less annoying for me when I actually go in the sim. So, there we go. And more or less, this is kind of like the idea of what's up. The thing that I don't like about this is that I might have made this way too big, but sometimes you really don't know unless you actually start building things. I tried to scale this as best I could. So, let's see. From 0 to 7 something, it's almost 2 feet. And then from here to the top of this point, or here is 3 point something. Actually, you want to know what? I think I got my clearance down. Let's see. 3.3861. 3.3861. 3.3861 divided by 12. Yeah, I mean, it's actually a little bit bigger than it's supposed to be, but it's not impossibly huge. Don't let the really flat card textures trick you into thinking this is too big. It's probably still a little too big, but it's not that big. Which means what? Does it make sense? Yeah, actually I think it does. I think it does. All right, good enough for right now. Let's call this version 4 and see if we can actually render it and put it in the sim. Okay, so we're going to hide the satellite image. And yeah, it's gonna look like just this white blob got put in the sim, but we're gonna try to actually experiment with exporting it. So we're going to get it set with modifiers, all selected objects, and we're going to create the XML file. This will be 3 Mike 0 resort building, just no revision number. It's going to be the XML file. This is going to allow us to place it in our scenery. It's going to be a unique object. And then there are no textures currently, and we'll remember our export settings. And speaking of remembering things, I'm going to go into my hard drive, go into the directory, and make sure the texture folder is clear. And then we should be able to actually render everything. And here we go, 3, 2, 1, and we have a bin, we have a rendered file, and an XML file. Good. So we have no texture maps, so we can go straight to the folder which has the output directory, Gaston's Airport. We're going to go package sources, scenery, model library, and now we can create the folder 3 Mike 0 resort building. So 3 Mike 0 resort building. And then we just dump the files in, and we can actually build the actual scenery. So let's grab the file that we had, package tool. All right. You don't see a lot of stuff going on right now because I'm actually running the software required to compile the airport, and we're going to see whether or not it works. Fortunately, because there aren't any text traps here, this should be really fast. Okay, it says compilation errors detected. What was it missing? What was it missing? Cannot find model file. So 3 Mag 0 resort building GLTF. Why couldn't it find it? That's weird. Huh. What was it missing? Oh, interesting. When it generated it, it actually created it using a revision number, which I didn't want it to do. So, stand by. That's what we call my fault. So, there we go. I didn't save the change. All right, resort building, resort building, resort building. Wait, where's the other one? There we go. Bin, GLTF XML. That's what I forgot to do. All right, got those files. I'm going to take advantage of the moment and get rid of the rev4 bin and GLTF files. And now I should be able to recompile it. It's called DIGI made a goof. Maybe I'll take advantage of the opportunity to create some more emotes this this winter, and maybe try my hand at some animated emotes. So we'll see. The second build succeeded, so now we can actually stop listening to Minecraft music for now.